If you have been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Tats. I'm a full-time paralegal, a 24/7 crime junkie. I'm obsessed with the Luigi Mangione case. I hold a degree in criminology, a master's degree in legal studies. I teach law at the university level. I am not an attorney. So anything I say in my content, my comments, or my lives is not legal advice. It's my opinion only. If you need the services of an attorney, please seek one out in your area. While we're sitting here chatting, drop your questions in the chat. If you wouldn't mind tapping the screen, that gets me out to the FYP, gets more like-minded, not like-minded people in here. We encourage all opinions in this room as long as they are respectfully given. If you're disrespectful to anyone in the chat or myself, my mods will quickly and quietly ask you to leave. One thing we don't do in here is drama. Okay, we are going to talk Luigi, and I'm sorry. I know there's more to that preamble, including Starbucks. Will you come and sponsor me because I drink your drink on my lives all the time. But, okay, are we all Luigi fans in here? If you're not Luigi fan, that's fine. I'm obsessed with the case. I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. I haven't made my mind up because I haven't seen everything. Today, though, there are some huge constitutional issues that came out today, and I want to talk about them because I got to get them out. And I was about to ask about Luigi. Foxer, you're in the right place. I am too, Allie. I am totally obsessed. Few more things for Luigi to win his case. Foxer, I got to tell you, I mean, obviously it's just been one day. Hello, hindsight. It's nice to see you. Obviously it's just one day. We've got a couple more days at least. Jolly Holly here. It's a party. We've got a couple more days at least with these hearings. And these hearings, I want you guys to remember, are just the suppression hearings, right? We're talking about what was taken from him when he was arrested, as well as statements that were made when he was arrested. So we've still got other motions that are pending regarding the public comments from the DOJ and the president and all of that good stuff. Today is just suppression, right? We're just talking about evidence today. So let's talk about what happened today, and then I'll answer whatever questions I can for you, okay? They showed video from McDonald's. The reason the McDonald's dude was there was simply to verify that that was the video. That's called foundation. You got to set the foundation for where the video came from. He probably authenticated it, that kind of thing. So that's the only reason the McDonald's dude was there, because he pulled the video for, he's an IT guy for McDonald's, pulled the surveillance video from McDonald's for the police when they asked him. Good to hear it, Jeremiah. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about it, Priscilla. I got to get it out. I got to get it out because my blood pressure is up. Okay. Then they showed the video from McDonald's. They also played the 911 call, which was from the manager of the McDonald's. Okay. And in that, somebody, I guess one of the patrons had actually said to the McDonald's manager, hey, that guy kind of looks like the guy they want for killing the CEO over in New York. I can't see anything. And she said on the 911 call, I can't really see anything but his eyebrows. We all know I'm in love with Luigi's eyebrows, right? But that's all they could see. But apparently he was making patrons nervous, just by being there. So he was only in the McDonald's for 25 minutes when the police showed up. Remember, before they were saying something about he was loitering, he was taking more than 20 minutes for eating his breakfast. That wasn't even brought up. Okay, somebody got filtered, so let's be careful what you're saying. I want you guys, yeah, his eyebrows, beautifully chosen. His eyebrows are amazing. But I don't want you guys to get filtered. I want to answer all of your questions, so just say it in a different way. You're in love with the whole face, Tanya, you and the rest of the world, I swear. Okay, so that happened today. Then there was a law enforcement officer from Huntington. So when Luigi was taken into custody by Altoona PD, he was placed in Huntington SCI. They placed him under watch, close watch, because, quote, they didn't want an Epstein episode on their hands, whatever that means. And in his stay at SCI, apparently, I'm going to try to stay calm. Luigi just blurted out, oh yeah, I had a 3D printed gun and some foreign currency in my backpack. And then they said, did you write that down? I mean, he made this statement to you. That's pretty important. Did you write that down? Oh no, I didn't make a report of it. I just remember that he said it. Give me a fucking break. Like, come on. When it's that important, you write it down. Oh my God, finally found you. Haven't been able to find you in over a week. Beth, it's so nice to see you. Excuse me. St. Polly girl, thank you for that heart on my head. No, he did not, Bubba. Totally agree with you on that. Chris Max, thank you for that heart on my head. Tanya, thank you for that heart on my head. Okay. Yes, his jawline as well. We can all stipulate for the purposes of this live that Luigi is a good looking man. He has great eyebrows and a great jawline. Got it? Got it. Fireman's Wife, thank you for that follow. User one with an asterisk, thank you for that follow. Okay. Epstein, self-deleted false narrative. Look, if you guys haven't seen, I don't want to get off track here, but if you haven't seen the video from inside the jail where Epstein was being held, you need to go look at it before you say anything. Nice to see you, Miss Chris Max. Okay. Free Luigi. Oh, after today, user, I gotta tell you, after today, look, we're in day one. They already said this is going to be a couple of days, so let's wait and see what happened. But the biggest statement today that has my blood pressure up is the woman police officer who started going through his backpack stopped and said it out loud so that they heard it on the video. We may need a warrant for this. Guess what? If you say that, you probably do. You probably do, and you should probably stop and go get the warrant, right? That is the Fourth Amendment walking in. That is the Constitution boldly saying, here I am in the Altoona McDonald's. I am here. So let's adhere to me. Like, oh my God, you guys. Is the audio, it is not user. And I'll tell you why. They don't want the audio or his manifesto out because they don't want to poison the jury pool. Of course, that doesn't mean that the AG can't go on Fox News and the president can't put social media posts out there. Don't get me started. I'm already wound up enough. Harley Cute, thank you for that follow. But let's talk a little bit about this statement from the police officer who said we probably need a warrant. Yes, you probably did need a warrant at that point. Then they try to backtrack it and say, well, we thought there was a BOMB in his backpack. Okay, that doesn't track because you literally picked it up and threw it on another table when you walked in to interrogate him. They're also, hello, it's nice to see you. Love true crime all day. It's nice to see you, Harley Quinn. Why don't we just do our freaking jobs? Yes, Jolly Holly. I have been preaching this. If Jolly Holly's been with me for a long time, so she knows. I have been preaching this, that we need more training for beat cops. We need more training for patrolmen with constitutional rights, because I don't think they understand that when you get to trial, probable cause is not the standard that you're going to have to reach. Probable cause to arrest him, great, but then you need beyond a reasonable doubt to convict him. And that DA cannot go back and reconstruct what you missed when you were arresting this guy, right? Sorry, I'm getting agitated. Starbucks therapy. Okay. So not only does she say, I think I might need a warrant, then they backtrack and say, well, we thought there was a bomb in his backpack, which doesn't track, especially how they were manhandling that backpack. But then they say, and this I don't understand, because we're in court now. We're in court with attorneys. The prosecution has attorneys. I don't understand why they would say this. Okay. They say, well, we were going to get that evidence anyway through discovery, so it doesn't really matter how we got it. The fuck it doesn't. Excuse my language. I'm so glad. I hope I have 18 plus on. It totally matters, because that's called parallel construction. Parallel construction is what law enforcement uses to try to circumvent the 4th and 14th Amendments. You can't do that. That's illegal. Can't Luigi be out of prison due to all the violations of his rights and simply wait for trial? Foxer, good question. So pretrial bail is meant not to punish, but to promise that the defendant is going to return for hearings, trials, everything like that. The reason Luigi does not have bail, in my opinion, is the seriousness of the charges against him, the chance that he's going to flee, and what they found on him. So they found on him like false information, foreign currency, that kind of thing, which kind of ups the state's argument of this guy's going to leave if we let him out. So good question, but I don't think so. No cleanup or backwalking. Absolutely. Absolutely beautifully chosen. You cannot walk back the Constitution. Once the Constitution's in the room, the Constitution's in the room. Yeah, well, they never evacuated. Right. Good point, Karen Lynn. I love it. Good point. Nope, Selena, I just started. I'm just like, I'm just like, sorry, I am just, my blood pressure is up. The cop did, the cop said it was heard on the body camera. Yes. Amen. We need it. Yes, we do, user one. We need better educated police. Roswell, Luigi for U.S. Senate. Love it. Hey, Anna Jones, it's nice to see you. Okay, I am trying to calm down. I am so emotionally invested in this case, you guys. I don't understand. LG and me, nice to see you. It's spicy tats night. Yeah, Jen Jones. It is a little bit. Hello, Mama Bear. I'm sorry. Elena, it's nice to see you. Congratulations on a fantastic November. You graduated out of rookie. I'm so proud of you. If we have any law and order left, please apply it here. Yes, and not retroactively. Like this is what I've been arguing for since Karen Reed, is for education of the police to understand what they're doing in the moment that they're doing it, right? You cannot backtrack. You need to do things. There's a reason we have procedure. There's a reason APD has procedure. Their procedures are in evidence. Did you guys know that? They actually, KA actually attached the APD's procedure manual as an exhibit to their motion. Hey, Army Medic, nice to see you. You get all hyped up too. Good, it's not just me. I'm trying, drummers. Yeah, maybe we should all. Hey, Aletta, it's nice seeing you. Anna Jones, I just started. Just remember, law enforcement is above the law. They could do whatever they want. That is so not true, Army Medic. I've been waiting for this all day. Thank you, user with a bunch of numbers. If they're scared of him fleeing, can't they just have him on ankle monitor or something? Yeah, Foxer, that's usually for lesser offenses. The fact that he is, hey Bree, nice to see you. The fact that he is under a capital punishment with the feds is probably going to preclude any kind of bail at this time. Hey JJ, how are you? It's nice to see you. I'm just in here venting. I'm waiting for my first like violation or something. Oh my goodness. All right, we are cleansing breath, right? We are going to do this. Hey Bonnie Ray, thank you for that heart on my head. You're welcome, Aletta. Thank you. I'm so glad. LLN, I started, I don't even know. When did I start? About 20 minutes ago. They can keep their Charlie Kirk. I have Luigi. I got you. Straight jacket. We need, where did I miss that? Hang on. Is it worth saying that Luigi said in court that the contents of his backpack, Hey, Polly, thank you for those goggles. Starleo, can you restate that? I'm not catching it. Is it worth saying that Luigi said in court? Are you talking about what he said was in his backpack when he said that in jail? Broken arm, Polly. What did you do? He said the $8,000 was not true. The $8,000 there was not $8,000 in his backpack. If you look at the evidence, the list of evidence, I think it was like $2,000 in U.S. currency. It was like another $1,500 in foreign currency. And consequences when police don't do their job. Absolutely, Jolly Holly. And those consequences are that the charges don't stick, right? Or the evidence gets thrown out, and then the charges get reduced. And that may seem unfair. And I want to back up really quickly and state for the record, Brian Thompson lost his life, and that's not okay. Vigilante justice is not okay. I know my brother JJ's in here and he likes wood chippers. I get it. But in my opinion, vigilante justice is not okay. However, every single defendant in this country has constitutional rights. They are not negotiable. They are not optional. Every single defendant gets the same constitutional rights. And once we start deciding that this is okay and that's okay because of what he allegedly did, remember, Luigi's completely innocent. He's cloaked in innocence until a jury finds him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, or he pleads guilty. Neither one of those things have happened. So he is completely innocent. So if we're saying this innocent man doesn't get the same constitutional rights that I do when I drive my car on the road, or when I'm walking in a public place and somebody, irritates me, so I hit them. I have the same constitutional rights to remain silent, to have my Miranda warnings read at an appropriate time, to be secure in my papers and my property. You're not going to come up and go through my purse without a warrant or without probable cause or without incident to arrest. Like, you've got to follow the rules. If you want people who are accused of crimes to follow the rules, then the people who enforce the crimes have to follow the rules. That starts with law enforcement. It ends in the prosecutor and the judge's office. Procedure is vital. Even if the date is incorrect, it's not admissible. Amen. I will say this to that beautifully chosen. If there's a clerical error and it's not material, what I mean is like they spelled something wrong or they put the wrong year instead of 2024, they put 2023 or 2025. That I might be able to overlook as a clerical error if it's written in, but not getting a warrant when you specifically said, we might need a warrant for this. Like when she said that, when that officer said, holding the backpack, we might need a warrant for this. Guess what you did? You did. You absolutely did. You just invited the Constitution right into that McDonald's, sit down, have a McMuffin, and be one with us. Like at that point, the Constitution was in the room. I'll keep him locked in my house, Tanya. What happened? What did I miss? Stacy, welcome in. We are talking about what happened in court today with Luigi Mangione. Luigi Stan, hope he wins. Oh, our Rhythm Nation, nice to see you. Face is red, voice is red. I'm so sorry, LG and me. I'm trying to calm down, but the more I talk about it, I'm like, thank you, JJ. Deep breath. Deep breath. Okay. Hold on. Let me get calm Tats into the room. But as soon as I start talking about it, I'm going to go off again. This is my passion, you guys. I don't know if you guys have this kind of passion for what you do. I hope that you do, because every day I don't feel like I work. I feel like I do what I'm really good at. And Jake, thank you for that heart on my head. I do what I'm passionate about. So, those 10 years that I spent working for that criminal defense attorney in Atlanta just opened my eyes to how much corruption is out there and how much people are willing to just turn their head. Lori, nice to see you. Thank you for that heart on my head. Tommy, the most handsome man on TikTok, has just graced us in our chat. Nice to see you, Tommy. Lori, thank you for those popular votes. You volunteer. Okay, so Stacy, hang on. The girls in the chat who want to put Luigi, don't mess with kids. I hear you, JJ, who want to put Luigi under house arrest in their house, you're going to have to fight that out between the two of you. Actually, there's going to be more than two of you. Tara, hello. Nice to see you. Thank God we all have those rights. Absolutely, Selena. That's one of the best things about this country. Supreme Court threw out the Miranda warning requirements. No, they just changed them a little bit. They didn't completely throw them out, but I know what you're talking about. The news, I find, is giving their views. I don't think they should be allowed. Your thoughts? Carolyn, can you expand on that just a little bit? Absolutely love the energy tonight. Yeah, I got to tell you, Deb, I know you guys think that Luigi is good looking, and he is. I'm not arguing with you on that. But for me, what the defense is doing, the absolute mastery of their pleadings, and they're holding the state and the government's feet to the fire on things that I just personally, I don't see that a whole lot in my cases. I didn't see that a whole lot in those 10 years I worked in the criminal justice system. And to me, it's just so exciting because if you've been here a while, I came out of college with my bachelor's degree thinking I am going to single-handedly change the criminal justice system for the better, and just got knocked on my ass with all the corruption. And one person certainly can't do it, but one person can tell another person who can tell another person, and we can raise awareness. And I think we all have Karen Reed's case, AJ, Alessi. We have them to thank for the fact that the public is much more aware that these things do happen and their consequences are dire. D Flipper, nice to see you. Thank you for the heart on my head. Free Luigi. Now I got you, FB. I got you. Hello, Arthur. It's nice to see you. I hope you're well too. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Wait, she said that and they still search his backpack. Yes, Selena. Oh, you're going to get me going. Yes. She said she had the backpack in her hand and she said, we may need a warrant for this, and then proceeded to open it. Like, guess what? Go with your gut, girl. Go with your gut. I'm just saying your gut will never steer you wrong. And yes, you did need a warrant for that. So do you think the backpack will be suppressed? Good question, Danny. There's a lot more that's going to go on this week. Okay. So this, like I've said, is day one. Stacy, I haven't forgot about you. I am going to recap as soon as I get through the chat. We are on day one. Okay, we've only seen a little bit of what they're going to present evidence-wise. And remember, this is a pretrial hearing. We're not going to see all the evidence. We're going to see the evidence directly related to these motions to suppress. We're going to hear from APD, Altoona Police Department. We're going to have a bunch of those officers who were all in, I don't know if you guys saw that body cam footage or the stills from it, but like they were packed in that McDonald's. Like they didn't just send one, they sent almost the entire, in my opinion, they sent the entire APD over there. But there was also officers there from the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office, and nobody seems to be talking about that, or the fact that the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office was hacked, back in August, and held for ransom. So nobody seems to be talking about that and the fact that it could impact this case. Yeah, the incompetence is staggering. Thank you, D Flipper. I appreciate those goggles. I agree with you, FB. Jake Windsor, thank you for that heart me. Everything evening news showed him in court all spiffy like, oh, Deba, did you see his picture? He looks really good. Hey, Tommy, nice to see you. Stacy, have not forgot about your recap. We're getting there. Where did you get the insight in the courtroom today? I just got drips. LLN. I use a, oh, Jesus, why can't I think of what it is? So I get my news and then I run it through a meter as to whether or not it leans left or right. And I take all my news out of the middle. So this was a summary of what was presented at court today. That is all I got. I didn't get a left-leaning right or a right-leaning report. I took what was said. I took what was presented and the witnesses that were there. That's all I have. I don't really go to CNN or Fox. Do you know what I mean? What is the name of that? Is it? I'll have to look it up and I'll get it to you. I promise. Lori, thank you for that heart on my head. Tommy, thank you for that heart on my head. I didn't realize there was a time limit for eating. Beth, that was something that was brought up when he filed this motion to suppress. By the way, Thomas Dickey was in court today. He just didn't present anything, but he was there. Thomas Dickey is Luigi's attorney in Pennsylvania. That case is on hold until his federal and state case in New York is finalized. Hello, Hooked on a Feeling. Nice to see you. Thank you for that heart in my head. Vico, nice to see you. Thank you for those gifts. But that was something that was brought up that like it wasn't, initially someone said, no, it wasn't called in as a tip. It was called in because he was loitering. And that was quickly, I guess, let go after they heard the 911 call and they specifically said on there, hey, there's people here who think that this is the CEO murderer, right? Okay. I am going to reset the chat and I'm going to give a recap for Stacy. So if I did not get to your question or comment, please just put it in the chat again, because if I pause it for too long, it just gets more and more unwieldy and then I forget what we were talking about. So today, was day one. Luigi Mangione for motion to suppress in his New York State case. No perp walk today. He came in through a side door. Apparently that was the decision of the judge and the attorneys knew that beforehand, but they still let the reporters stand outside in the hallway, which I think is kind of funny. Is it Pink Ink Studio? Whoa! Please tell me that's a tattoo studio. Thank you for the follow and I need some new ink. So he did not have a perp walk, so we don't have any video of him walking in like we did last time. He was in a gray suit, a checkered shirt. Actually, here, while I'm talking about it, let me see if I can pull it up. Why? So today is a motion to dismiss the evidence that was taken when he was arrested, as well as statements that were given after his arrest. So there's your lover boy. That's what he was. There's Luigi from today. Looking fine as hell. Yep, Jake. He did look good. I will say that. He did look good. It's all on Getty Images. Yep. There's a ton of images out there from today. Go ahead and look it up. I have a couple more. Yeah, if you look on my last video, I put not my last video, not the one where I'm ranting. The video before that, the first two photos are from today. So yeah, he does look good. He looks, well kept and all that. Did you guys read the Rolling Stone article from last week? Where it said, how he's well regarded by the guards and the inmates alike in the, where he is. Let's see the others. Stacy, I haven't forgot about you. Okay. So this one, Probably see him off to the side. That's more of a police officer. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Let me pause that. We don't need to see that again. There's another one. I thought you guys might like that one. There we go. There's another one. There's a better one. There's a better one of the one with him and the police officers. Now that you need to see the police officers. I think that's all I have. We'll go ahead and leave this one up. But if you want any of those, there's a link in my bio. Just send a question or a case to Tats. Ask me for them. I'll email them to you if you really want them. I don't want to know what you do with them. That's none of my business. But yeah, he does. He has a great smile. He looked like he was, they said in court, he was taking notes. There was a big screen in front of him to watch all the videos that they were playing. They played audio. They played videos. Yeah, Tommy, I'm not going there. Right. Whatever they do. Anonymous repost. Thank you for that follow. Phew, you sweating. Okay. What you do with them. That's right, Stacy. What you do with them. Okay. So no perp walk this morning. Started like at 10ish, a little after 10ish this morning. Today's motion to suppress again, just for his statements and the evidence that was taken when he was arrested. What was put on today. So they called a guy from McDonald's who downloaded the surveillance video from McDonald's at the request of the police. He set the foundation for showing that video. That's evidentiary in nature. You have to show the foundation by authenticating it. That's what he did. So he testified, yes, this is the video that I took from McDonald's at the request of the police. Then they played that video in court. They also played the 911 call from the McDonald's manager where she said some of the, okay, hold the chat just for a second, okay? Where they said, she said some of the people who were in the restaurant were uncomfortable because he resembled who they were looking for the murder of Brian Thompson. That prompted her call to 911. And on the phone, they played that whole 911 call until they said, okay, we have an officer dispatching there. If he leaves, call us back and let us know. But the officers are on the way. Then they played the McDonald's video, which is surveillance video. Just in case you guys don't know, McDonald's has like 20,000 videos or cameras in each restaurant. I'm exaggerating, but every inch of McDonald's is videotaped except for the bathroom. And he was eating his breakfast in the back corner, but apparently making patrons uncomfortable. Even on that 911 call, the manager said she couldn't give them a description other than he was average weight, average height, and she could see his eyebrows. He had a mask on, and she wasn't able to give them any more of a description. Then they played some body camera footage, and that is the one I'm going to try not to get upset. That is where the female officer that was there. Now, there was a ton of officers there. It wasn't just one or two officers. There was a ton of officers that showed up. One of the female officers grabbed the backpack and said, I think we might need a warrant for this, but then searched it anyway. Yeah. So at that point, in my opinion, the Constitution walked into the McDonald's and said, hey, I'm here. You're going to have to adhere by me. But they didn't. And then there was an officer from SCI Huntington, which is where Luigi was taken after he was arrested in Altoona. SCI Huntington is part of the state prison system here in Pennsylvania. If you guys don't know, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm about 2 hours from where this happened. It is a diagnostic prison. Nope, I lied. Camp Hill's the diagnostic prison. Sorry. Used to be Huntington, but it's not. Kind of a big prison up in the middle of nowhere. And they had him under constant surveillance because, quote, they didn't want an Epstein situation on their hands. Just going to leave that right there. And in that constant surveillance, apparently Luigi just blurted out to this law enforcement officer who was watching him, oh yeah, I had a 3D printed gun and some foreign currency in my backpack. Did that officer make a report about it? No, he did not write that down. No. Did he find it that important to write it down? No. But he does remember that that's what Luigi said to him. Now, look, in my opinion, Luigi's not a stupid person. He is not. Thank you, Jimmers. I appreciate that. He is well educated. he's smart. You guys know that, right? He's smart, from a wealthy family, had the best schooling, all that good stuff. If he's sitting in a jail cell accused of murder and waiting extradition to not only the state of New York, but also the feds, you think he's going to blurt that out? Like, I just don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. So today, that's pretty much what happened today. That is what happened today. We are going to continue tomorrow, and hopefully I can keep my shit together and give you guys some good content when we get it out. There's no cameras in the courtroom. There's no audio in the courtroom. They were very specific that they do not want the audio video getting out. There is a gag order on this case, but they don't want it getting out because they don't want the jury pool poisoned. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. You guys who have been here before, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm thinking, so I don't even have to say it. Okay, I'm going to scooch over here. I'm going to block Loverboy for just a minute, all right? Just so I can read your comments. Okay. They're flaunting their power. Tiffany Boyd, I just want them to abide by the law like everybody else. Like, is that too much to ask? They're going to cook Luigi. If he was smart, why did he kill a guy? He's innocent, Steve. He is, this man right here, innocent till proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by jury of his peers. We haven't seen all the evidence, and what's at stake right now is whether or not that evidence gets to a jury. If it's true that they ignored his constitutional rights, shouldn't it be dismissed immediately? Foxer, good question. Now let's remember, this is the evidence that was taken from him in Pennsylvania. This is the statements and the evidence that were taken from him at the time of his arrest. They still have evidence from New York from before the crime. That's how they tracked him. That's how they put, allegedly, right? How they put his likeness out to find him. So even if all of this evidence, which is not going to happen, you guys know that he's not going to win all of this motion, right? Even if all of it is thrown out, the charges aren't going to go away. They may have to recharge him. They may have to drop the charges. Remember last month, sorry, we're in December now. Remember in October, this same judge, Judge Caro, dropped the terrorism charges through a motion with his attorneys. So we do have a fair judge. I think this is a fair judge. I really do. I think we have a fair judge. Will he drop these? We're just going to have to see what happens this week. And we may not get an answer this week. After these hearings, the judge is going to take everything under advisement, and he may not, I'm not going to look at that. He may not rule from the bench. And what that means is he's going to rule in a motion or rule in an order that's going to be filed later on in this case. Good question, though, Foxer. I don't think it's going to be dismissed immediately. Absolutely, Carolyn, it will be innocent every single day. Hello, Jody. Nice to see you. He's staring at me, y'all. Kristen, behave over there. Totally agree, Stacy. That's the part that I didn't say out loud that everybody who's been here before knows. Tats agrees. Tats agrees. Another officer even said he didn't care what happened to the defendant. Sriracha Sauce, listen, if we have officers who are saying that out loud, if we have officers who aren't abiding by constitutionality, if we have officers who don't know the 4th and 14th Amendments, they shouldn't be officers. And I am very pro-police, but I'm pro-police. Thank you, Lisa. It's nice to see you. Thank you for those goggles. I'm very pro-police. I'm very, but I'm also very pro-law. I'm very pro-constitutional, Constitution, all that good stuff. All of my, my career has been dedicated to the legal field. And yeah, that's, again, my passion. Innocent misfits. I hear you. He's innocent now for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. There would be none of this abuse of power of rights if he had a pew-pew. Florida gal, that is an interesting take. I never thought of that. If he would have pulled it out in the McDonald's and it would have been on camera, that would have been something. Facts, he's innocent till otherwise. Yep. Such a good boy. Beautifully chosen. Listen to you. Steve, I don't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree. We need to know his mindset though. Okay. Good question, Rachel. Let me pin this. This is what I'm going to talk about for a minute. His mindset. So one of the things that was in his backpack that they took was that notebook that they now refer to as the manifesto. That apparently has writings. They also don't want those writings to get out, but some things that were in there have been leaked or have been told to the press. And one of the things is that he wanted to off an insurance person because it ticked all the boxes. So if that manifesto gets thrown out, that's his motive. In my opinion, that goes to his motive for committing this murder, allegedly. And so that's at stake in these hearings too. Terry, thank you for that follow. That was supposed to say you didn't notify me that I'm so sorry, Jean. I got really agitated. I don't know if you saw my last video, but I read what went on today and I was just like, I got to go live and have you guys calm me down. This is not really working, but that's okay. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm happy to be here with you guys. Let's see. So does the McDonald's camera have audio? That's a great question, Sparkle. That depends on the McDonald's. Some of them do and some of them don't. And I can't say how I know that. He's too educated to have written so poorly. Kristen, the little snippets that they released, I don't think show the whole thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these little snippets. So what is actually in the notebook could be written more eloquently. One of the things that was allegedly written, and I don't know if it was in the notebook or if it was just in one of the notes, because there were several notes that were taken out of his backpack as well, was, I did this alone, and that should be understood. And whenever someone says that, remember BK said that when he was arrested, was anybody else arrested? That always puts my spidey senses up. Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, deflection is what it makes me think. Do I think he did it? RD Hamada, I don't know. I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough for me to say beyond a reasonable doubt that I would convict him as a jury. I want to see the video. We've seen all the stills, but I want to see the video. He has a failed back surgery. I happen to have the same surgery. Mine was not failing, thankfully. But I still have back pain, and there's still some things like I can't do. One of the videos I really want to see is him riding that bike at high speed through Central Park. I really want to see that, but I get asked that question a lot, and I just haven't made up my mind till I see all the evidence, and we're not going to see that with the gag order. We're not going to see that till trial. No, Lorera, this is, the trial did not start. This is a pre-trial hearing on a motion to suppress filed by Luigi's attorneys. Your 39 News, thank you so much for that follow. Elaine, thank you. Is it Elaine Markser? Thank you for that follow. Yeah, he does look well rested, doesn't he? Beautifully chosen. I mean, I have bigger bags under my eyes than he does. Do these arguments stem from KA watching the body cam footage in the McDonald's? Rachel, these arguments could stem from anywhere. So this motion was actually first filed by Thomas Dickey in Blair County, Pennsylvania. It was on the court on the docket, then it was taken off. It was like back in May. It was filed in February, then it was taken off in May from the calendar, and then they wanted Luigi to appear in person, and the Fed said, nah, we don't feel like bringing him over there. And Luigi wouldn't waive his right to appear in person. So that motion was dismissed by the judge simply because they couldn't produce the defendant. And then they refiled it over in the state court, and actually they refiled it in the federal court, a similar motion in the federal court as well. Does it come from her watching the body cam footage? That's an interesting question, because they didn't turn over the body cam footage until last month. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say perhaps, and I don't know. This is my opinion. They may have served a subpoena on McDonald's for that camera footage. It may come from that. It may come from Luigi's conversations with her. He was there. He's, other than law enforcement, he's the only other one that was there. So it may have came from that. They're allowed to search arrestees and belongings coming into the station. True, Millie. Absolutely true. However, this was in a backpack that was taken from his area, right? When you look at the body cam stills, I have them on my computer. When you look at the body cam stills, actually, I might have some here. Can you guys give me just a second? I'll see if I can pull them up. I may have them on my phone because I was talking about this case over Thanksgiving. I know. I'm that obsessed. I'm that obsessed. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Here is Luigi at the McDonald's. Okay. This is not a good representation. So let me just tell you, there he is in the corner. This is one of the police officers, obviously. No backpack, right? So let me show you. Thank you for that Starbucks note. My emotional support Starbucks. Absolutely. Where did those go? Oh, too far. Then we have this photo. Can you see that? So this over here is the corner where Luigi is. This right here, let me get my finger. That is Luigi's backpack. So when they came in, they took his backpack and moved it over to the other side of the room. So if they were afraid there was a bomb in it, you're just going to move it on the other side of the room because it's that small of a bomb. It goes off over there. It's not as noxious as it is if it goes off in general. Ugh, don't get me started. I'm sorry for the sarcasm, but you guys know. I love Alaska. I don't know. They did not have a warrant, tell it in Mrs. Ripley. How long can they keep those charges in Pennsylvania? That's a good question. So he's charged with a felony. He's charged with a firearm felony. Hang on, you guys. I don't like that behind me. There we go. Let you look at him. He's charged with a felony, so at least 5 years. I know that they have 5 years. Sometimes it's 7. I'd have to look that up, but that's a good question. And I don't know if the McDonald's worker ever got that money. Somebody said that it was because it wasn't called into the Crime Stoppers number. It was called into 911, and that is the reason she didn't get the money. I still feel like if he did it, duress was involved, and that's why his writing isn't up to par. That's fair. That's fair assessment. Sunny Day, thank you for that follow. Wouldn't that be tampering with evidence before it's bagged and tagged? Mental Angel, no. I kind of understand why they did that. It was for their own protection. But you don't get 2 swipes at the apple there, right? So a search incident to arrest in Pennsylvania is for the protection of officers, so that if there's something in your reach, something that could help you escape, something that could harm the officers, that's why they search you, right? That's the same thing that somebody just said when they go into the prison system. They're not just going to let you walk in there and you have like a knife or something in your pocket. Like they're going to search you and take anything out of there that could be potentially a weapon or anything like that. However, once they moved it that far away from him, which is more than like 10 feet, and he did not have immediate access to it. Thank you, Arthur. That's sweet. Once he didn't have access to it and they had it in their custody and control before they opened it, just like that officer said, we may need a warrant for this. Yeah, you absolutely did. You did. You have to call Crime Stoppers directly. I think that's ridiculous. I agree. I missed some stuff. Let's see. Rather see. Thank you, Arthur. I appreciate that. Who said anything about a bomb? They actually said that today in court, Millie. They said that, maybe there was a bomb in there and that's why we had to take a look. Now, remember, inside the backpack was another box that was taped shut and they opened that too. It wasn't ticking. It wasn't leaking red stuff. It didn't have a smell or an odor to it, but they took out a knife and opened that right there on the premises too without a warrant. That had a computer chip in it. But inside the backpack was the weapon, the silencer, the money, his ticket from, I think he went from Philadelphia and he was going to Pittsburgh, that bus ticket, that Greyhound ticket. So there's a lot of, and that manifesto that has allegedly his what would be a Marie, thank you for that heart on my head. Vicky, thank you for that rose. His motive. Do you think he did it? I just covered this, Viviana, but I'm happy to do it again. I haven't seen enough. I need to see the videos. I want to see the videos myself. Like I said, with somebody with back pain and things like that, riding a bike through Central Park at a high rate of speed, I want to see what his body moved like. But that's a good question. It's a fair question. Hey, Vanessa, nice to see you. Let's see. If they're checking the body for weapons, though, wouldn't they be able to search your purse or backpack? Rachel, good question. If it's in your immediate custody, yes. If it's in your area, yes. Just like when they pull you over and they can search your car, but they can't get into your glove box, right? If it's locked without a warrant. There's restrictions on it. Let me put it that way. Once they moved his backpack out of his way or out of his reach, then they needed a warrant. And that officer said it straight out. We may need a warrant for this. Once you say it, guess what you do? You need a warrant. No backtracks, no takebacks. They mapped it out and said the times don't add up on that bike with MPA. Yeah, Stacy, that's pretty much why I want to see all the video. I don't want to make I don't want to make assumptions. If I were in his spot, I wouldn't want anyone making assumptions of me. And I try to remember that. I think sitting at the defense table for 10 years with people who were and were not guilty when I worked for that criminal defense attorney has really opened my eyes on things like that. I have hardware in my back. I can't imagine riding a bike that far. Yeah, I have hardware in my back too. Marie, I know what you're talking about, especially this time of year. And then remember, this was in December. It was in his wingspan. They weren't just going to give it back to him. No, Millie, no, I'm not saying they had to give it back to him. What I'm saying is they could take it into their custody, get a warrant to go through it, and put everything as they should on the record. So when you swear out a warrant, like a search warrant, the officer has to have probable cause for the judge to sign that order, to sign that warrant. So all they had to do was take it into their custody and say, we suspect that he is Luigi Mangione. We suspect that he is wanted in New York for unaliving somebody or killing somebody. Excuse me. And for that reason, we want to go through his backpack. And the judge most likely would just sign the warrant. And there you go. There's your chain of evidence, right? Instead, they just all showed up, went through everything, didn't Mirandize him, started interrogating him. And yeah, you can't do that. That's why we have a constitution. I know it's alleged, but still, where did the bike come from? It was one of those, LLN, it was one of those, what do they call those? Where you just kind of rent it off the rack. Do you know what I'm talking about? Who's paying for his attorney? Army Medic. Good question. He has a GoFundMe that is worth, actually, no, I'm getting him confused with Aaron Spencer, not Give, Send, Go. He has a GoFundMe that's worth over $1 million that people are contributing to. That's who's paying for his attorneys. Do you know if his family is supporting him? They own a lot of nursing homes. I don't know for sure. I love Alaska. This is going to sound so random, but I recently went on a date with somebody who went to school with his cousin, who apparently does know everything about the case, but hasn't talked to Luigi. So I don't know if that's his extended family. Obviously, I don't know if his mom, his dad, or what have you. There was a report before he was arrested that they went and talked to his mom, and his mom was like, well, that sounds like something Luigi would do. But there's no report of that. So they came out in a press conference and said, well, this guy's mom said that he could do this. And now that they're in discovery, there's no evidence of that. There's no record of it. There's no written report of anybody talking to his mom about it. So I don't know what kind of contact they have, but that's a good question. I would hope my parents would contact me at least. Timberloo, thank you for the follow. Warrior Mom, thank you for the follow. Sweet and Salty, thank you for the follow. I hate they aren't broadcasting his trial. This needs to be a lesson to all DAs. I share your frustration there, Timberloo, and I think with Karen Reed especially, right? Because we were all Karen Reed all the time. Like we had every day in court with the parties. We kind of got spoiled a little bit. I will tell you, New York does not have cameras in their courtroom. Neither does Pennsylvania at all. None of the courts in Pennsylvania, the state courts, and then the federal court. No federal court has cameras in their courtroom. But we should be able to get, pretty good drawings of them. City Bike, thank you, Tommy. E-bike. Yeah, my sister says that's true. It is an e-bike. That is an e-bike. I still want to see him riding it though. My sister says that since it's so widely public school, there's no way you can get a proper jury. So, Jean, when you go to choose a jury, your jury does not have to know or does not have to have never heard of the case. What they have to be able to do is put aside everything they've heard of the case and still have an open enough mind to only consider what evidence is presented by the parties at court. If they have biases, if they have preconceived notions and they've already made up their mind on his guilt, like I think there was a Steve in here earlier who was like, he's guilty. Obviously, Steve can't be on the jury, right? At this point, there are still people who don't know who this is. I will tell you that because I talk to people every day and they're like, who's Luigi Mangione, right? So for people like us who are obsessed with this case, we're like, what are you talking about? You don't know who Luigi Mangione is. But there's still going to be, hold on, puzzle piece. There's still going to be those types of jurors But for people who have heard about Luigi Mangione, as long as they can assure the court that they can keep an open mind and only consider the evidence that's presented at trial, they are eligible for jury selection. Oh, Lord, I entered the wrong part of TikTok. People supporting cold-blooded murder. See ya. Nice to see you, Melanie. And there's another person who couldn't be on the jury as well. If that backpack gets thrown out, no way they can convict him. Well, Mo, it does have the murder weapon, the alleged murder weapon. It does have his motive in there. My question to you would be, they may not be able to convict him for second-degree murder, but do you think they could convict him on circumstantial evidence with a lesser offense? Considering all the stuff that they have from New York, they've got surveillance video, they have the hostel video, they have the fact that he allegedly presented that same fake ID to the Altoona PD and the hostel, placing that person there. So I think they're going to convict him of something. It's just a matter of what. I also think it would be not prudent for all. Hey, Lorianne, nice to see you. For all of us. Hey, Cat Lady, nice to see you. For us to think that all of this stuff is going to get thrown out. I think some of the arguments are more robust than others on the evidence and the statements. Having everything thrown out is a little bit optimistic, but weirder things have happened. Those are pedal bikes, Tommy. Spontaneous admissions. Yeah, Millie, I don't think that's what we're talking about, though. He was actually interrogated for 20 minutes before they read him his Miranda rights. CNY Witch, jury nullification is definitely a possibility in this case. I'm from Long Island. I have so many clients who have no idea about most cases not everyone is into. That's true. That's true, Jen. Hope Pete, thank you for that follow. Were there facial recognitions done? Karen Lynn, that I don't know. The stills that we saw from the taxi, the hostel, the Starbucks, the shooting itself is on video from that surveillance video in front of the Hilton. But I don't know if they've done facial recognition. I work for United Healthcare. They sent us an email about the trial today. Oh, Timberloo, it wasn't trial. It was just a hearing. But can you share what they said? My daughter asked me that today, and I was shocked. Maria, I probably don't know what that is. What happened today? Cat Lady, he was in court today on his motion to suppress. Motion to suppress. Hey, Tanks, Mommy. Nice to see you. Motion to suppress evidence and statements at the time of his arrest. What about the video of him in New York? There's tons, allegedly tons, Lori, of surveillance video of him in New York. You wish you were on the jury. I love Alaska. Jeffers, thank you for those stickers. Laura, thank you for that follow. What did he pay for the e-bike with? I don't know, Golden Healer. Third Coast, thank you for that follow. Who is it? Bellstar, this is Luigi Mangione. He is accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, last December. Just about, actually, we're almost at the year anniversary. Thank you for reposting this, Maria. Sheila, thank you for sharing this out. It's not him. I draw portraits, and I can tell you I'm certain it's not him. He's Italian, not European. Timberloo, I've heard a lot of people say they don't think it's the same person in those. Oh, Sharon, thank you for the ice cream. Haven't had dinner yet, but thank you for the ice cream. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't think it's the same person. They mentioned the nose, actually the eyebrows, and the jawline. I'm not good at that. So I'm really not good at ID. Like, what do they call that? Eyewitness ID. I'd be horrible at that. Sharon, thank you for that heart on my head. Read the ID. Many people thought others were involved. Could similar looking people be possible? No, absolutely, Penelope. I'll just put my theory out there. He has a brother. And the fact that he wrote down that he was the only one that did this, something tells me he's protecting someone. And I don't know if you've seen the Mangione family. They all look alike. All of us Italians, we all look alike, right? We all have the same features. Except I don't look like anybody in my immediate family. I guess I should have said that. I look like my grandfather. Insurance execs are cold-blooded mass murderers too. I hear you. OR Rhythm Nation. I hear that. There were so many people that were lookalikes on TikTok. Yeah. Have you guys seen the Charlie Kirk lookalikes? Because those are a little freaky. Those are a little freak. A farmer will never cure and insurance will never cover. It's a racket. I hear you. I'm a big fan of holistic. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get on here and preach or anything, but for me personally, oops, sorry about that, is his defense that he didn't do it. Millie, I don't think he's really pled a defense yet. The trial date hasn't been set. These are pre-trial motions. We're in discovery and they're attacking the evidence right now. Will they post today's transcript on his website? That's a good question. I haven't seen any transcripts yet. No, I don't see a transcript yet, but if it goes out there, I will let you guys know. No brother. Maybe it's a cousin LLN. I believe he admitted guilt in the beginning. Susan, if he did, I'm not sure of those statements. Did you say Luigi has a brother? I thought he did. Is it Sotobosco? But it might be a cousin. Couldn't more than one person have the same fake ID? They could. Absolutely. I mean, they are fake. A man tried to kidnap me at 16 face to face. I fought him and I couldn't ID him. Yeah, I'm bad at faces too, just foreign me. I'm bad at that. Are you a Kirk fan? I was not a Kirk fan. Snow Daydream, thank you for that follow. What do you make of the CO's saying he unprompted said stuff about the gun and money while in jail? Yeah, we County Queen, we covered that earlier when my blood pressure was up, but now that I'm a little calmer, I can cover it again. So if you missed earlier, one of the officers who was watching him at Huntington, which is the prison that he was taken to before he was extradited over to New York, said that Luigi just volunteered to him that he had a 3D printed gun and some foreign currency in his backpack, but then didn't make a written record of it the day that he heard it with, there's no written record with the date and everything. I don't know how many Karen Reed fans we have in here, but if you remember, there was a big deal about the fact that a lot of the police reports were dated some over a year from when the murder happened with John O'Keefe. That's kind of what they were attacking there, right? There's no record of it. There's no written record of it on the date that Luigi allegedly said that. But now that we're in court arguing evidence and statements, all of a sudden we're saying, oh yeah, that's what he said to me. I just didn't think it was important enough to write it down. Is it beneficial for him to be posted? You mean behind me? I mean, this is a public image that I got. So I guess so. I don't know. The defense should gather as many lookalikes as possible and bring him into court. Wow. Just put like a lineup. I mean, there's something to be said about that user. He has lots of cousins. Well, we're Italian. We all have lots of cousins. Let's see. The state still has, maybe I'm his cousin. Do I look kind of like Luigi? I mean, dark hair, dark eyes, hair where you don't want it. The state still has to prove their case. Absolutely, 100% Katie Lou. He's innocent till proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The judge was tough on Karen. Oh, the judge was more than tough on Karen. Yeah, Vanny. Judge Bev, she was more than tough on Karen. Mark Rosario photo was his actual face. It was on the ID. He doesn't have a brother, 2 sisters. Thank you, user. I appreciate you guys keeping me honest in here. He said, she said stuff doesn't stand up well in court. April, he said, she said. Yeah, okay, got you. I just had to reread it. He said, she said, it does not stand up well in court. It does not, unless one of those people are a law enforcement officer. And I know it shouldn't. But in my opinion and in my experience, the word of a law enforcement officer will be taken over a layperson. It's my opinion. It is very beneficial, and that's why she chose to take him to court through back doors. Oh, Ella, look at you. I like that analysis. The images are eye candy for the ladies. That's right, Tommy. It actually is. They know the public sympathizes with him. He does have look there. I don't know if you guys saw outside the courtroom today, there were people who camped out outside the courtroom. Like they've been there for 30 hours. They had tents. They were camped out just for a glimpse of him. and holding pro Luigi signs. There were a whole row in the back of the courtroom of his supporters, some of them wearing t-shirts with slogans just trying to catch his eye. And at his prior hearings, he would make eye contact with all of his supporters, which is probably a good reason why I'm not there. He's innocent, Yuvenchi. He is innocent till proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I will agree with that. I think the weapon stays in, but the defense may have some success. Okay, so Hone Hunter, that is an interesting analysis. And here's my take on that. You know, if one thing in the backpack stays in, everything in the backpack has to stay in. Do you know what I mean? Like if the search is either illegal or legal. It's like being pregnant. You're not just a little bit pregnant. So if they can search the whole backpack, everything in the backpack stays, except potentially that computer chip that was in the taped up box. So with that caveat, if the weapon stays in, everything in the backpack stays in, with exception potentially of that computer chip that was in the taped up box. Make sense? And then, you know, the argument today that really kind of got my ire up was, well, we were going to get this stuff anyway. We were going to get it all through discovery anyway. So we just bypassed the Fourth Amendment. Like, that is called parallel construction, and that is illegal. You cannot circumvent the Fourth and 14th Amendments by finding other ways that you may have gotten the evidence. Like, that is backtracking, motions to suppress. Like, the reason it's illegal is because that's what you do when you backtrack motion to suppress. Mark cross-examined too. He is so guilty. Do you think so, Dave? Because he's innocent sitting here right now. He hasn't been convicted of anything. Hey, Lily Mom. Lily M. I said it again. I'm sorry. People are so thirsty for this, but they are, April. They really are. When is the actual trial? There's no trial date yet, Marigold. Mark's cross was amazing. It really was. Look, if you get into trouble and you can afford them, Mark and KA are amazing. And I don't know if you guys saw KA walk into court today, but the look on her face, I am a huge KA fan. Like, I have a woman crush. I'm unfortunately straight, but I have a total woman crush on her, and she's married, so it doesn't matter. But the way that she walked in, I was like, I want to be her when I grow up. There were people camping already at 5 p.m. this evening. Yeah, just to get a look at him. It's been proven law enforcement officers lie. I hear you, Vicky M. I hear you. Was he handcuffed? No, he was not, but he was shackled, Lori. Just like Dave Chappelle said, he didn't do it. And even if he did, he didn't do it. That's good. A lot of the signs were advocating for free healthcare, but media wants to show others irrelevant. That's probably a good assessment, Ella. He's like a 2025 Robin Hood. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Mustang Pedal Car, thank you for that follow. And if it's halfway illegal, it stays out. That's right, Katie Lou. Yeah, it's like being a little bit pregnant. It's got to stay out if it's a little bit illegal. When they make Luigi movie, I think Justin Baldoni should play Luigi's character. Well, maybe we should figure out where Justin Baldoni was last December, right? Tango, thank you for that follow. Wouldn't they need a warrant for the taped up box? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, Golden Healer. Yeah. Even if it was questionable of the backpack, that taped up box needed a warrant. Absolutely. Protest because he didn't get due process, but hey, eye candy is a bonus. Reminds me of Ted Bundy, right? But he was so charismatic, right? Ted Bundy was. And if you read that article last week in Rolling Stone that talked about how popular Luigi is, not only with his fellow inmates, but also with the officers at the jail where he's at, like, he's very charismatic. He also responds to every piece, or reads. I'm not sure he responds. He reads every piece of mail that he gets while he's in prison. Remember when they said they found the backpack at the park? They found two. There was one backpack that they have from Central Park, and then they found the backpack on him in Altoona. You think he's too old? Oh my. Can't imagine what CEO's mother has to be. Michelle David, look, the fact that Brian Thompson lost his life is not lost on me. Shouldn't have happened, no matter who did it, whether it was Luigi or somebody else. It shouldn't have happened. Vigilante justice is not okay. Total cute guy, Care Bear. The backpack in the park. Yeah, they found one in the park, and then they found one on him in Altoona. My ex was charismatic too. That doesn't end well. I have one of those as well, Polly. So many people have died thanks to UHC. Well, you're not lying there. You are not lying there. He's way too good looking. Yeah, look, there is. Oh, Elena, thank you for those goggles. I look like I'm going skiing. There is. Yeah, I truly feel for the family as well. In fact, his cousin has been in here. His cousin, Brian Thompson's cousin, has been in here. The backpack in the park didn't match the one he was wearing on the video. I, again, haven't seen the video. Do you know what was in the backpack in the park? Monopoly money, Jackie. Wino laptop. They actually did seize a laptop, Natalia, from him in Altoona. Jury better nullify. Look, that's a possibility. Luigi was in the right. If he allegedly did it, Glazgal, I can understand why he did it, but I don't condone it. Could his mother testify in trial about her statement? I could see him do it. If she made that statement, but there's no record of that statement. Yes, she could. Did he beat the case? Not yet. Today was just a motion to suppress. It was the first day of probably a week-long hearing on motions to suppress evidence and statements. Nobody's seen. Yep, exactly. Golden Healer. Why no laptop? Natalia, I already answered that. If you're just repeating that question, I'm not really sure what you're getting at. All right, last questions because I haven't eaten dinner and my stomach's rumbling. Someone tested what he had and placed it in the backpack and it wouldn't fit. Yeah, if you look at the list of items that was taken from him, Lana Bana, it is extensive. It's a page and a half about of things that were taken from him. Now, a lot of it was clothing, and remember, we're talking about December, so he may have been wearing a lot of those clothes. But it's an extensive list. It's an extensive list. And one of the things that they did take, in case Natalia is still in here, was a laptop. Altoona, I'll say it again. We'll tell my grandkids Altoona was chicken of the sea. That's awful. That's awful, Polly. One evidence list. That's just the evidence, Lana Bana. That's just the evidence of what was taken. Thank you for that heart on my head. What was taken from him in Pennsylvania. There's other evidence from New York from before he was arrested. No, that's okay, Natalia. I appreciate you being honest. What time is tomorrow? Same time. Well, Karen and Lynn, they were supposed to start like around 9 today, and they didn't get started till after 10. Thank you for that heart on my head. Mike's Law is here. You guys aren't following this guy. Make sure you're following. Thank you for those goggles, Mike. Appreciate you. Mike has been extensively following the Epstein case, also follows the Luigi case, the Emmanuel Haro case, P. Diddy case, you name it. Mike is following it. If you're following me, you should be following Mike. They showed the whole video today. Yeah, they did from McDonald's and from the body cameras. That's what they showed today. Today was almost 11 a.m. Yeah, actually, LLN. So they're outside waiting for him. It was like 10:30 when they came and said, look, he's already in the courtroom. Now, that doesn't mean that the judge didn't have something before and didn't start till 11 because of something in his chambers or in another courtroom. But usually they start around 9. I don't know what time they're scheduled to start tomorrow. Vicky, thank you for that heart on my head. Kay, thank you for that follow. I want to see the video. I want to see all the videos, Marigold. I'm right there with you. Kelly Burris, thank you for that follow. Sassy Lady, thank you for that follow. Here's Mike. This is Mike's Law 1. You guys, if you love true crime, you definitely want to be following him as well. Can NYPD be trusted knowing they're trained in Israel? Interesting take, Roswell. Interesting take. Mr. B, thank you for that follow. Ella, thank you for that follow. Katie Lou, thank you for that follow. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, sorry. That is a total squirrel moment because you guys know Christmas is my favorite holiday. Thank you, Polly. That was so pretty. Appreciate that. All right. Last questions before I go eat something. Thank you guys for bringing my blood pressure down. I appreciate it. Penelope, thank you for sharing this out. Brittany, thank you for that follow. Millie, thank you for reaching level 17. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys gave me the heart me at any time in here, Rebecca, thank you for that follow. Before you leave, touch on that orange heart again. If you've left a comment, tap the screen. Whoa, 46,000 times. You guys are amazing. If you left a comment, tap the screen or gave a gift, a box is going to appear at the bottom, and down the right hand side, you're going to see black and white claim buttons. Make sure you claim all of your TikTok points. That actually elevates you in TikTok world, gives you street cred, whatever you want to say. But it's good for your account. Millie, thank you for leveling up. It's a 17. I appreciate you. That's right. So you can't recognize he's a C. I don't know what you mean by that, Sean. So what's the proper sanction if the judge lets the evidence in, but finds Altoona violates his right? I think that's oxymoron for me anyway, Mike. If Altoona violated his rights, then some sort of sanction has to come down on Luigi's benefit, right? I mean, he's given up a constitutional right. So, what I was saying earlier, somebody said the gun doesn't come in. Okay, well, if the gun doesn't come in, then nothing in that backpack can come in. Maybe it's just the computer chip in the box, which I don't think, I don't know what was on it, but perhaps that goes more to motive. Maybe it's the statements that stay out and the evidence comes in. I don't know, but APD has had their problems in the past, and I don't think they're making it any better in their testimony today, in my opinion. But they are. See you, Polly. Nice to see you. But more APD is coming. More APD is coming tomorrow and the rest of the week. Katie Lou, have a great night. Thank you so much. I waited to see him. Oh yeah, we already read that. You're lagging quite a bit. Oh, sorry, Arthur. What happened to his curls? Well, I mean, they're still kind of there, LLN. He probably just doesn't have his hair fixed. Don't hate. Inevitable discovery, I think the judge will go with. Mike's Law, I got to argue with you on that. Inevitable discovery to me is parallel construction, and that's completely illegal. I think that whoever came up on the prosecution side with, well, we're going to say inevitable discovery, like you might as well just say, hey, parallel construction, and we did it illegally, but just give it to us anyway. Like, I don't buy that. You're hungry too, Vicky. Let's go have some sushi. I mean, respectfully, Mike, I just think whoever came up with that argument was drinking the night before. That's my assessment. It's just my opinion. Anna Lawrence, thank you for that follow. Brandy, thank you for that follow. We love his hair, but we love it longer. I hear you, Ella. No lagging here, but keep getting booted out of the live. Sorry, Polly. In the feds. I agree with you on that, Mike. I think he has a better chance. The federal prosecution has a better chance at that argument than he does in state court. Why is he so handsome, bro? Us Italians, we're hot people. What can I tell you? That's how you know I'm hungry, because now I'm starting to get sassy. Mike, I appreciate you being in here. I need to stop in one of your lives when I have a minute. Go eat. Thank you, Jimmers. Jimmers is always taking care of me. I love you, my friend. OR Rhythm Layton, thank you. Yes, I am going to go eat. So if you did grab the heartbeat, make sure you tap on that orange heart again and grab all your points before I leave. You're very welcome, Mike. I appreciate you being in here. Marigold. Yeah, I like it better than my grays. That's why I color mine. Emily, thank you for that follow. What happened today with him in court? Oh my gosh. Okay. So really quickly, Luigi had first day hearing on his motions to suppress evidence and statements after his arrest in Altoona, Pennsylvania. A cop said, should we get a warrant? And then went through his bag anyway. One of the officers in the jail where he was held said that he voluntarily said, I had a 3D printed gun and foreign currency in my backpack. But didn't make a report about it, didn't think it was more important to write down. He's just in court testifying about it today. The video you posted today was insane. Amy, are you talking about the last one where I kind of went off? Yeah, I probably should not make content when I'm agitated, but I had just found out what happened today and I just couldn't, I couldn't hold back. Arthur, thank you. I love you too. Buenas noches, amiga. Okay, have a good night. Everybody... Okay, I'm going to go. Everybody go get sushi, right? I wish I could say it's on me, but I can't. I'm going to get some sushi. No, I can't. Thank you, Selena. Thank you guys for being here. Ain't no way this guy is walking free. I don't know, Marigold. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what tomorrow brings. So, thank you guys for being here. Spaghetti, that sounds good too. Thank you, OR Rhythm Nation. Appreciate you. Joyce, thank you for sharing this out. Good night, Tommy. It was good to see you in here. Still have Saturday turkey. Oh God, Michelle, I think I'm turkeyed out. Yep, sushi. Let's all go get some sushi. Keep that BP down. I'm going to try OR Rhythm of the Nation. No promises. We'll see what tomorrow brings because APD's coming to testify. You never know. So if I didn't already say it, I appreciate every single one of you being in here. Thank you for the 52,000 taps. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you for all the questions and engaging with my chat. I appreciate you guys beyond measure. Be good to yourselves, be good to those around you, and make good choices. If I don't see you tomorrow, I would definitely see you on Wednesday. Amy, thank you for that follow. Tats,